We're going to start chapter 11 with stem and leaf plots and histograms. It's our goal to know how to make stem and leaf plots and histograms and to interpret them. Let's start with stem and leaf plots. Write down this definition. A stem and leaf plot is a data display that organizes data based on their digits. So we're going to make a stem and leaf plot based on the number of bus passengers. So a stem and leaf plot is going to categorize your data into the tens place and the ones place. So in order to do this, you're going to have to list the data from least to greatest to kind of understand what's going on. So I'm going to organize myself by listing these from least to greatest. So 12 is the smallest, 14 is the next smallest, then 17, 20, 20, 23 is the next number, 25, 35, 35, and 39. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now that I know, now that this data is organized, it's easy to see that I have numbers in the 10s, in the 20s, and in the 30s. So I'm going to make a stem and leaf plot where I have numbers in the 10s, the 20s, and the 30s. The tens digit goes on the stem side. The ones digits go on the leaves side. And I'm going to list these ones digits from least to greatest. I'm just looking at these three right here. I have a 2, a 4, and a 7. No commas in between, just listing them from least to greatest. Now I'm going to list the numbers in the 20s. I have a 20, a 20, a 23, and a 25, so I'm going to write 0, 0, 3, and 5. And then the numbers in the 30s, 35, 35, and 39. So when you're making a stem and leaf plot, you're going to list the numbers from least to greatest, no commas. I would read this number 1/2, this is the slash, 1/2 is 12, 1/4 is 14. So the other thing you need to know is that all data displays, not histograms, need to have titles. When you're publishing this information, you're not going to publish this. You're going to publish this to the public. If you just put a set of numbers out there, they're not going to know what that stands for. So you need to label it. So I'm going to give that a title. With a stem and leaf plot, you're also going to tell people how to read the chart. Like I was mentioning before, 1/2 means 12. So I just pick any numbers on the stem and leaf plot and show what they mean. So I could have done 3/5 to mean 35. This is as far as we have to go today. This is what would be published to the public. From this information, the public could see the least amount of passengers is 12, the most amount of passengers is 39. You could find the mean. You could add all of these up, not 2 plus 4, but 12 plus 14 plus 17 plus 20. You could find the median. You could also find the modes. There are 2 of them, 20 and 35. You could also find the range and mean absolute deviation if you wanted to. We're going to make a histogram next. A histogram is a data display that groups data into intervals to show frequencies. So this time we're talking about the number of CDs owned. So one person had 12, another person had 12, another person had 12. I'm going to kind of look at this data and I see that this ranges, see the smallest number is 2 it looks like, and the largest number is 19. It ranges from 2 to 19. We could make a bar graph out of this. Each person would get a bar, but there would be too many bars. So instead we're going to use a histogram. Similar to a bar graph, but it works with frequencies. Frequency is like frequent or how often something occurs. To organize my data, I'm going to make a tally table, and that's going to help me organize my intervals for the frequency. Yes, I want you to make this tally table before you make your histogram or bar graph. So my tally table is going to be represented by the number of CDs, and then I'm going to have a tally column. When you're making intervals, they need to be appropriate to the range. As I mentioned, our range ranges from 2 CDs to 19 CDs. So I'm not going to have intervals of 20 or intervals of 10 really. I think 5 would be appropriate here. And when you make your intervals, you can start with any number. If you want to start with 0 and go 0 to 4, because that has 5 numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that has 5 numbers. Or you can start with 1. I think I'm going to start with 1. And like I mentioned, I'm going in intervals of 5. So there are 5 numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My next interval is going to start with the next number, and I need 5 numbers in here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Intervals of 5. Again, I'm not using the same number twice. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I can't stop yet because my largest number is 19. Okay. When you're creating intervals, all intervals have to go up by the same amount of numbers, so I went up by 5s here. You can't repeat numbers, so 5, 1 to 5, 5 to 9 would not have been appropriate. Now I'm going to tally how many numbers are in each interval. So 12 goes here, 12 goes here, 12 goes here, 2, 6, 7, 18, 19, 7, 4, 13. This is the 5th number in this group, so I'm going to mark it with a slash. 7, 8, 9, 4, 10, 14, 14, and 14. Okay. From this information, I'm going to make a histogram, very similar to a bar graph. These right here are going to be my labels on the bottom, the x-axis, and then this is going to be how tall my bars go. Okay, so down here is the number of CDs. That's a D, not a B. And then I'm going to put my intervals down here, 1 to 5. I'm not making this up, it's coming from right here. 6 to 10, 11 to 15, and 16 to 20. So intervals go here. This is how tall your bars are, or the y-axis, and this is the number of people. So 3 people own 1 to 5 CDs, 7 people own 6 to 10 CDs. So I'm just going to go through. I guess I have to label this over here yet. My lowest is 2 and the highest is 8, so maybe I go to 10. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 3 people own 1 to 5 CDs. 7 people own 6 to 10. 8 people own 11 to 15. And 2 people own 16 to 20. The only other thing I'm missing here is a title. And that's going to be the number of CDs owned, or I could even use the title that was given to me originally. Okay, let me recap here. I would be publishing this part to the public. So you need a couple things. You need a title for the whole thing. This histogram is talking about the number of CDs owned. The x-axis is talking about the number of CDs, so 1 to 5 CDs, 6 to 10 CDs. I put that in those equal intervals down here. The y-axis is the number of people, so 3 people own 1 to 5 CDs. Notice that my bars are approximately the same width. Notice that my bars are touching. Okay. When people are making stem and leaf plots and histograms, the biggest mistake that they make is that they don't forget to put the titles. Oh, this is the title here. Don't forget to put the titles. The stem and leaf plot, they forget their key. And with histograms, they forget their labels and they don't put equal intervals down here.